Hello and welcome back to the Rebuild Recovery podcast, where we talk all things recovery, not just about how to get clean, but how to stay clean and rebuild a life that's worth staying clean for. My name is Hayden Thorn. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important but often overlooked parts of recovery, identity. This is a bit of a long one, so stick with me. Addiction wasn't just about what you used, it's about who you became. And recovery isn't just about quitting, it's about rebuilding who you were meant to be. When you're in active addiction, your identity gets hijacked. Everything starts revolving around the drugs. Your friends, your routines, your excuses, your money, your energy, it all points back to one thing. And you might have once been the funny guy or the loyal mate, but slowly you just became the addict. And that's how people saw you. And worst of all, that's how you saw yourself. I remember those years. Nothing mattered anymore. My character didn't matter anymore. I wasn't Hayden, the son, the mate, the father. I was just Hayden, the addict. And then you start to believe that identity is true and you stop fighting it. You wear it like a mask even though it doesn't fit. Then in early recovery, you finally put the drugs down and you step away. And for the first time in years, you actually don't know who the hell you are anymore. And that's a horrible place to be in, because addiction gave you structure. Even if it was destructive, it gave you a role to play. And now that role is gone and you feel empty. So this is why actually so many people relapse. Not because they're not good enough, because they never built a new identity to step into. They stay stuck as an addict who isn't using, or a dry drunk, instead of becoming a man rebuilding his life. So let me tell you, staying in that no man land is no good. And if you don't define who you are, life will hand you the same old version you've always lived with. So the identity shift. How do we shift our identity? You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel like a new man. You build it brick by brick. And the first brick is your character. Character means doing what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching. It's showing up when it's easy to disappear. It's keeping your promise to yourself, not just to other people. Every time you act with character, you're casting a vote for the man you're becoming. Here's how I like to describe it, because it makes sense to me and a lot of the blokes that I work with. Rebuilding your identity is like creating an avatar in a computer game. Think about it. When you start a new game, you don't just get thrown in straight into it. You sit at the character screen, you choose the look, the clothes, the armor, you decide what skills matter, you allocate points to strength, speed, stamina, and wisdom. You pick the values that will shape the whole game. And building your identity in recovery is exactly the same. When you strip away the drugs, you're back at that blank screen. No character, no armor, no upgrades. And at first, that can feel confronting, like you've lost everything. But if you shift your perspective, it's one of the most powerful places you can ever be, because now you get to design who you are. You choose your values, you select your beliefs, you decide what attributes you want to carry into this world. Maybe you put points into discipline or into courage or honesty or into presence. And then, just like every game, you start leveling up. Each day you add a new skill, new knowledge, new habits. Maybe at first they're tiny, like +1 to integrity when you keep your word, +1 to resilience when you show up to a meeting, +1 to strength when you train instead of isolate. Those small points don't feel like much at the time, but they add up. And over time, you look back and realize your character has completely changed. You've gone from the weakest, most broken version of yourself to a man others look at with respect. Not because it happened overnight, but because you kept leveling up, one choice, one action, and one standard at a time. And that's what rebuilding identity is. It's not about drifting back into the old character you once played. And it's not about settling for just being clean. It's about deliberately designing and building the man you want to become. And once you see it like that, you stop feeling lost and you start feeling powerful, because you realize you're holding the controller of your life. But character on its own isn't enough. You actually do need direction. Otherwise, you'll build habits and then drift in circles. This is why having a vision is so powerful. A vague future creates weak decisions. Unclear direction leads to relapse, drift, and self-sabotage. But a vivid vision gives you clarity, power, and fuel. Your vision becomes your North Star when life hits hard, and it will, and this will pull you back in line. And that's why in the Rebuild program, we use Rebuild Vision 2.0. It's a worksheet that I've built inside the Rebuild program. And it's not about goals on paper. It's about identity alignment and becoming the man you were born for, not the man you're going to settle for. And I can actually work through this with you. So let's build it now. If you're listening to this, grab a pen and do it. If you're driving, just think about it and maybe come back to this later. But the first thing we do in the Vision Rebuild is a self-check. Rate yourself out of 1 to 10 in these areas. Clarity of vision. Do you have clarity of vision? Do you have an emotional connection to it? Are you aligned daily to it? And what actionable milestones are you setting for yourself? And do you believe in the vision? Now, most men score low the first time. And that's the point, because the moment you see where you are, you can start rebuilding. For an example, a bloke might have, for clarity, 2 out of 10. I've got no idea what I want. Emotional connection, 3 out of 10. I want better, but I don't feel it. Daily alignment, 1 out of 10. I'm just winging it. Actionable milestones, 0 out of 10. Identity belief, 2 out of 10. That's not failure. That's just a starting point. So creating a rebuild vision, and this is where most blokes stumble. They want a better life, but when you ask what it looks like, they give you some vague answer. I just want to be happy. I just want to stay clean, or I want a good job. That's not a vision. That's a wish list. A rebuilt vision is vivid. It's emotional. It's specific enough that you can see it in your mind like a movie. So here's the exercise. Write it like it's already your reality 12 months from today. Step into your future and speak as if it's done. We break it down into 5 key areas. Marriage and relationship. How do you show up? How does she respond? What's shifted in how you lead and connect? Don't just say, I want a good relationship. That's empty. Instead, describe the texture of it. For example, I show up with presence. My phone is down when she's talking. She trusts me again, and I can feel it in her eyes. We laugh together. She doesn't carry all the weight anymore because I've stepped up to lead. Can you feel the difference? The next one, fatherhood or family. What kind of man have you become? What moments are normal now? What are your kids learning from your example? So again, an example of this could be every night I tuck my kids in. They don't wonder if I'll be around because they know. We play, we talk, we go on adventures together. They've stopped looking over their shoulder, waiting for the chaos to return. My kids are learning consistency, strength, and love from me, not lies and excuses. If you don't have kids, just think family in general. Maybe it's your parents, your brothers, your mates. How do you show up now compared to before? The next one is health and vitality. How do you move, feel, and fuel your body? What habits are locked in? What's your energy like? Health isn't just about weights or your abs. It's about being a man who lives with energy, clarity, and strength. Example, I wake up before my alarm. My body feels light and strong. I train 4 days a week, not because I have to, because I want to. My fridge is full with real food, not junk. I walk into the day clear-headed, not foggy. My energy is steady from morning to night. That's a vision. You're not just talking about exercise here. You're talking about a man you are in your body. That's a vision. You're not just talking about exercise. You're talking about the man you are in your body. Next one, career and purpose. What are you building? What does it feel like to work with purpose and strength? How are you leading yourself and others? So this isn't just about a job title. It's actually about contribution. Purpose is the antidote for drifting. Example, I show up to work with fire. People respect me because I bring solutions, not problems. I don't hide in the background anymore. I step forward. I'm building something that matters. Whether it's my business, my team, or my craft, I feel proud of the impact I'm making today. The next one, lifestyle, wealth, environment. What is different about your day-to-day life? What's shifted in your finances, your home, or your rhythm? Too many men in recovery stay stuck in survival mode, and your vision is permission to dream bigger. Here's an example. My bills are paid. I've got savings in the bank. I wake up in a home that feels peaceful, not chaotic. My weekends aren't wasted. They're full of adventure, connection, and growth. I've created a rhythm that feels sustainable, not stressful. The key here, fellas, is not to hold back. Don't write what you think you should write. Write what sets your soul on fire. If this vision doesn't make you feel something, if it doesn't light you up or it doesn't even scare you a little bit, it's not strong enough. The truth is, vague visions create vague lives, but vivid visions create direction, conviction, and power. So be bold, put it all down, see it in your mind, feel it in your body, and own it as if it's already real. And that's what rebuilding a rebuilt vision is all about. Once you've written that all down, bring it together into one bold paragraph. I'm going to bring it all together now, like it's on or before 12th of September 2026. I wake up with strength in my body, clarity in my mind. My marriage feels alive with trust, laughter, and connection. I show up as the man she deserves. My kids look at me with pride because I'm present, consistent, and steady. My health is locked in. My energy is powerful, and I move through the day with discipline and purpose. My career is no longer just a job. It's a mission that impacts others and leaves a mark. My home is peaceful. My finances are stable, and my spirit is grounded. This life didn't fall into my lap. I rebuilt it through vision, standards, and daily action. And I walk with a quiet confidence of a man who knows he's exactly where he's meant to be. This becomes your anchor. This becomes your rally cry. And read it daily, because repetition turns vision into reality. Now, what can happen here is doubt kicks in. So I want you to ask yourself, when you've done this vision, how confident that you'll create this vision, and write a number out of 100. And if it's not 100%, ask yourself why. Maybe you don't believe in your consistency. Maybe you think you'll screw it up, or maybe you feel you're not worthy. But that's the addict voice talking. I want you to flip it. What's one belief that would change everything? I follow through. I am enough. I am building something that lasts. Identity shifts the moment your belief shifts in yourself. This isn't a one-time exercise. You've got to keep this alive. So turn your vision into a phone wallpaper, print it, stick it in your bathroom mirror so every time you brush your teeth, you can read it. Record yourself reading it and listen to it every morning, because you don't need motivation, you need visualization. And when you see it daily, you start living it daily. So I'll end on this, guys. Identity in addiction was stolen. Identity in early recovery feels empty, but an identity rebuilt, that's where your life changes. It doesn't happen by chance, it happens by design, through character, through vision, and through daily alignment. So this week, if you'd like a copy of the full version of the Rebuild Worksheet, send me a message and I'll be happy to send it through to you. Because you're not just an addict in recovery. You're a man rebuilding his life, his family, and his future. This is the Rebuild Recovery Podcast. Thank you for listening. And if this hits home, share it with a mate. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear it. And remember, your past doesn't define you, but your vision does. See you later.